Hey everybody, Felix Staffelbaker here. I want to make a video because if you understood that, and I've said this before, I don't know the details of point A to point Z, but I know what point A is and I know what point Z is, and getting there is going to be a struggle, but I know where the end goal is. And I have said for years, I am sure, I mean, you could count on one hand at the most of other people who have been talking about this type of thing, especially for as long and as detailed and as just robust as we have, and that is EOS scales Bitcoin. And we can already see it. The XRP people supposedly funded a Greenpeace skull of Satoshi to say that it was so bad and all these emissions and everything, and try to get regular people to want to change the code, to get people to try to change their mind. We see companies like BlackRock talk about that. They are influencing people's decisions through things like ESG, and they're making companies have forced behaviors. If you don't comply with what they're doing, they're just simply, you get eliminated. Well, that same type of thing could potentially happen in the Bitcoin world, because you've got a company like BlackRock who would be able to buy as much EOS as anybody, and you scale Bitcoin on top of EOS. All of a sudden, a company like that who's got all the Bitcoin and all the EOS, I mean, there's no stopping them from changing the code. There's no stopping them from taking Bitcoin to proof of stake. There's no stopping any of this type of stuff. And I'm not saying that that's exactly what's going to happen. What I'm saying is that we're not being told what's going on, and we're about to get bait and switched. And something is going to happen drastic like that. I don't know, but my only position is EOS and Bitcoin, because they're defaults on each other, and also I think that they're going to work in congruence. Like, they're going to be essentially the same thing. Like, Bitcoin will run on EOS, and it's amazing, but literally I've been saying that for years, literally. And we see a company like BlackRock and Vanguard and a few other these, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, all these, within the past few weeks there's been these ETF filings, and it's been over $27 trillion of total money assets managed that apply for these. So if 5% of all that money goes into Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin would be over $325,000. So that's just 5% from one group of asset managers. That's not including anybody else. It's not including governments, banks, investment people, like regular mom and pops. Like, people don't understand how high this could go. And millions is going to be small chump change for Bitcoin, especially because there's only 21 million, the few million that are lost. Everybody else that's left fighting for what's left in a world where everything else is inflationary. This is deflationary. I mean, it's just going to be the biggest shock in the whole history of the world, and people aren't expecting that. But man, I just feel like something's coming like that, and what's going to happen is people who are positioned with something like EOS or something like Bitcoin are going to be the only people that can really survive that type of transition, because they're going to reprice everything. It's a reset. It's just a new way of doing things, that if you're part of the old system, you get left behind and you have to join the new one. It's like everybody says, people are mind blown that you can still buy Bitcoin with worthless US dollars. Eventually, you won't be able to do that, because they'll be worth so little that the Bitcoin is worth so much that you just won't be able to exchange it. And then when that happens, you won't be able to be buying it. The only way you can get Bitcoin is by earning it. And so, I mean, what are you going to do at that point? You're already behind the 8 ball big time. And then on top of that, now you're having to start basically from zero, and you're going to have to start almost on a manual labor schedule to even accrue accumulate anything. That's not, especially for the older people, they're going to be totally wiped out. It'll be a financial COVID for the older people. Same way that anybody who was old and had weak immune systems just got right off the top. That's the same way that this is going to be. And then you're going to have the trickle down and everyone's going to get affected. But the way that they're clamping down on these exchanges and things, they're making it to where you can't even buy EOS right now in the US. And that would make perfect sense. Right when they switch it over, they don't want you to be able to buy any. So if you've already got it, like some of us who've had Genesis block wallets, then you understand where this is going. People always say follow the money, but then when the money's there and it's to be followed, they go, whoa, wait a minute, I didn't mean follow that money, I meant follow the money that, and it's like, that's not even part of the situation. So yeah, I just think that something's gonna come, something funny, something bait and switch, something where people are gonna be caught off guard. And unfortunately, we've been warning about this for years, and we didn't want this to happen to people, but it's going to happen to people. And if you're not listening, I mean, I can't literally go buy EOS and do it for you, but all I can do is show you what's going on, show you my perspective, show you my opinion, show you what I'm living, and then apply that to how it can help you, how it can make something that you're doing better. And you know, that's how we're all working together. This is human intelligence. The only way that we can grow and learn together is if we're sharing that ancestral knowledge. What better place to do that than a place like El Tazumel, where literally the Mayan culture built something that lasted for generations and generations. And hopefully that's what's happening right now with building up these cheap assets and really acquiring enough of them that when the new system is in place, you'll be a staple, you'll be essentially a magnate in, you know, a world of people who are poor. And this country is a great example of that. You've got multi-billionaires living next to people who don't have running water, and it's just, there's still love there. The people don't hate their neighbor for having more than them, which is something that in America, like, you never hear about. Everybody is jealous of everybody for everything. And you know, something here too is like the really pretty girls, they just don't even know that they're pretty. But like in America, like the very ugly girls think that they're Victoria's Secret models, and it's weird. Here everything is like, I don't know, the calibration is like set correctly on society in El Salvador. The people have the right mindset, they have the right everything. Now they're given the right opportunity with things like Bitcoin. So just want to put that out there. You know, be wary, but also be opportunistic and be excited for what's coming. Yeah, we're just all in this together. I'm in the same boat. I have no other information that anybody else has. I'm just a regular person. Otherwise I would be up in the Hamptons or whatever it is, an armored redoubt, all that stuff where they're all at. But that's not me. I'm with you guys. So I'm gonna put that out there. Stoffel Baker for the people. Stoffel Baker out.